if you go do a little homework on what the cost of processing and selling a rotisserie chicken, our $4.99 price is which we maintain is an investment in low prices to drive membership, to drive sales in a big way. So there's some things that we do, notwithstanding huge inflation over, and even though some of the costs have come down a little bit, relatively speaking, we want those wow items in there as well.
Well, despite low prices on store items such as the $4.99 rotisserie chicken, Costco reported mixed results late yesterday. Consumers seeking value trimmed their discretionary spending. Is it doom and gloom on the consumer front? Are those dollars getting spent elsewhere? Let's get to UBS U.S. hardline, broadline, and food retail analyst Michael Lasser for more on Costco. Thanks so much for being here, Michael. So to the point of where those dollars are going, are some of them going to a Walmart, for example? Is Costco seen as, maybe because of the membership, maybe because of those other items, as a higher cost option, and we're seeing some migration?
I don't think that's the story here. I don't think the consumers trading down or trading around to other channels. Costco offers a very good deal for the consumer. You pay to shop there, and the reason why you pay to shop there is because you find prices that are as good or better than anywhere else. I think what's happening is the consumer's retrenching. We're hearing and seeing that in a lot of different areas, whether it's home improvement, home furnishings, consumer electronics. For instance, Best Buy noted yesterday that its sales quarter to date in February were down 10%. It's just a reflection that the consumer is getting a little uneasier, and the consumer had purchased a lot of these big ticket discretionary items over the last few years and is shifting the spend to other categories like services such as traveling, going out to eat, and going to concerts. So I think that's the story more than this is a Costco specific issue.
Michael, you got to ask a question on the call last night. I'm wondering if you were satisfied with the answer that you got from Costco management. I mean, Richard, my goodness, he seemed unfazed. He was talking about how the company's moved through past uncertainty. So what's going to be different about this one? Were you satisfied with what you heard?
Brad, I thought that the message from Costco was they can manage through all sorts of different economic environments. They tend to do well during good times. The consumer has more money to spend, and they spend it at Costco. They tend to do well during tougher economic times because the consumer needs to rely on Costco more to stretch their budgets. That was the message. They also noted that if we do enter a more severe downturn, they're going to be there for the consumer by investing more in prices. And that's going to probably weigh on the P&L for the short run, but it's the right thing to do. This is a model that is heavily driven by the top line sales growth. And at the heart of what drives the top line is the member. And so as long as they're holding on to the member, this business should work very well. And they said yesterday that in the US, 92% of their members are renewing. They're really voting, and they're saying, hey, Costco's important to me. You can't find many businesses where 92% of the customers say, this is so good that I'm going to continue to pay to go there.
I wish I knew what that number was at, say, Amazon Prime, for example, Michael, but I don't. A two-part question then for you. Is that 92% in line with historical averages for Costco, part one? And part two, are they going to be raising the fee for membership anytime soon?
So that number is not in line with historical trends. It's actually better. So it shows how committed this customer is to this model. Second question is, when are they going to raise the fee? I suspect that they'll announce it later this spring and implement it early this summer. What they find is that as they get the profit infusion from this fee, because it really is pure profit, that they take a portion of that and reinvest it back in lower prices. And that helps to drive the model. That helps to differentiate Costco versus other retailers out there. So I think they look at it as this is an opportune time to charge a little bit more for the members because we're delivering so much value to them.
Michael, one thing that we heard about on the call as well was the new head of digital and what that timeline looks for, perhaps this digital transformation that is yet to really commence or take place in a kind of critical mass capacity over at Costco. what do you believe they need to get right in order not to lose out on the consumer that is more digitally focused?
So the competitive frontiers in retail right now are twofold. One is delivery, and Costco's made some extreme investments in delivery over the last few years. They basically bought the logistics infrastructure from Sears to be able to deliver big and bulky items, have trucks and distribution centers to fulfill those large orders. And that's really helped them advance their e-commerce business a lot over the last few years. The other competitive frontier is data. That is really the oil that makes this business, along with many other businesses, to grow. And there is no other retailer who has more information around who their customer is, what their customer is buying than Costco, because you have to have a membership to shop there. So increasingly over time, Costco is going to be able to leverage that data to tailor their assortments, offer very targeted promotions, run their business better. And that's an untapped opportunity for Costco. Costco tends to move pretty slowly, but when it moves significantly. And we expect that to happen over time.
And then just lastly, while we have you here, we heard about Kirkland not being a trade down, but of course they talked about it as a trade equal or even a trade up in some cases. I'm just surprised we haven't seen some type of, artist collab with Kirkland at this point, given the fact that it is such a household subsidiary for anybody who does or doesn't have a Costco membership. So within that, is Costco winning kind of at this trade down battle right now that we're seeing among some of the wholesale retailers?
I wouldn't put it past Costco to have some sort of collab like that in the future. So that would be an interesting opportunity for them. Kirkland Signature is a key differentiator for this business. The consumer looks at Kirkland as a really high quality offering at a very value conscious price. So I don't think the consumer looks at it as saying, hey, I'm buying a cheaper product or a lower quality product. I think the consumer looks at Kirkland as a very important part of their weekly regimen. I would expect that will continue. And I think the consumer looks overall at Costco as a key place to help stretch their budgets at a time where their budgets are under pressure. So I don't think Kirkland is Kirkland is a key part of that.
All right, waiting for that collab to drop. Brad, what's your dream Kirkland collab?
Kirkland collab. I would love to see Kirkland collab perhaps with Mac McClung, who just won the NBA All-Star dunk contest. Why not? Why not? The people need to see it. That would be cool, right?
Okay. I hope the Costco execs are listening to us right now, Michael. Thank you so much. UBS, U.S. Hardline, Broadline, and Food Retail Analyst Michael Lasser. Have a great weekend, Michael. Thank you.